I can't imagine what our life would have been like without these boys. If the water regulations had never changed, or if their mother had chosen at any point to close the door, as was fully her right. Adoption or no, custody or not, 2 days or 12 years, I know indisputably that I, and countless others, can love someone else's child as my own. And as arrogant as it sounds, perhaps even more, given the accidental, finite, uncanny nature of it all. One missed phone call, and it might never have been. Or we might have missed extracting the boys on the critical night they needed to get away from the fighting. Our social worker, Jerry, has said for years that things generally work out the way they're supposed to. A notion I've always chalked up as a DSS platitude, handing over to fate all they can't do. But I've also always hoped it might be true. Like other foster and adoptive parents, I learn again and again that trauma is a never-ending story. Even adoption at birth is not a happily ever after, and each age and stage resurrects its own reminders and reenactments of fear and loss. This was one of the first lessons I remember learning in our long-ago licensing training, and as clearly as the case studies illustrated this phenomenon, somehow it's still a shock each time trauma reincarnates in a new guise. Resilient as these boys have shown themselves to be, moving bravely forward, if not moving on as we might like to believe is possible, they would be far from where they are if not for others' great generosity. We owe their mother a lifetime debt for their presence. We owe their teachers, youth mentors, and church for always building these children up. And we owe DSS and the mostly beloved social workers for their continuous support and advice, as hamstrung as they've often been. While we were always braced for the earthquake and alert to every tremor, having these boys safe within our walls for this long has been unimaginably fulfilling. All I've ever wanted, since Michael's first backward stare at me, was the seemingly unattainable knowledge that he'd stay with us, that we'd have the same illusory sense of security that biological and adoptive parents carry daily.